Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your May 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find all sorts of goodies, including a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of the reading. Please do keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. Only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. As always, I am incredibly excited and feel truly blessed to be sharing this spread that I've created with you today. We are going to be looking at what have you conquered, where are you gaining clarity, what do you have the opportunity to change, and what might you be celebrating now or in the future. So let's jump in, Taurus, and see what's going on for you. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what has Taurus conquered, please? What has Taurus conquered? What has Taurus conquered, please? Okay, thank you. Where is Taurus gaining clarity? Thank you. What does Taurus have the opportunity to change, please? Okay, thank you. There's quite a few cards there. And what might Taurus be celebrating now or in the future? Yep, thank you. Let's get some clarity. Tell us more, please, about what Taurus has conquered. Okay. Tell us more, please, about where Taurus has or is gaining clarity. Thank you. Okay. Tell us more, please, about what Taurus has the opportunity to change. Okay, thank you. And tell us more, please, about what Taurus might be celebrating now or in the future. Okay, thank you. All right, and let's get some advice, encouragement, or guidance for Taurus, please. Thank you. That was fast, you guys. I'm gonna set that there, and let's dive in. Okay, so Taurus, what have you conquered? Beautiful. We have the Lion here, and I love this because this is an energy of confidence. This is an energy of courage, of inner strength, of compassion, of conviction. It's a very regal, how would you say, like a regal authority. Okay, so I feel like what you've conquered is that balance, right? It feels very much to me like you're how would you say? Like conquering your fire, conquering the passion that you hold within you, because I do feel like there may be some circumstances or situations where you do have a lot of passion, and I feel like previously that could have come forward or come out in ways that maybe were a bit, what is the word? Aggressive. Thank you. I also feel like for some of you, you may have conquered like your pride. You may have conquered, I don't know. It just really feels kind of like, how would you say? I don't know why, you guys, but it's like I'm getting this like I don't know what that means. Maybe that means something to someone specific, but it's literally coming through as a sound of like conquering that. So I don't know if it's maybe like that pride or like an arrogance or something where you just maybe didn't care so much about the opinions of others or how they felt or what they said or something. But I feel like all in all, it feels to me very much like you've conquered your own, I don't know how, it feels like you're getting comfortable in who you are. Okay. It feels like you're gaining some confidence. That's what it feels like. Like you've conquered your insecurities. You've conquered your fear, like fear. a lot of it is fear as well, I feel, because the lion is for me about that courage, right? It's about that inner strength, not that right, not that strength, but that very compassionate and soft and like benevolent, regal kind of strength, right? So for some of you, I feel like it's that. For others of you, I just kind of feel like you may have conquered, or even actually the word coming to mind is tamed, some of that fire within you, some of that passion, that maybe got the best of you previously. It's very interesting. Let's see what we have here to clarify. May give us a little bit more. So we do have here the Nine of Swords, which is that nightmarish type of energy. Again, there's that feeling of that courage, right? Coming forward. Conquer, again, fears, conquering your fears, right? Overcoming anxiety, finding that confidence. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah. I mean, because this card does look pretty like gruesome, right? And you know, I feel like some of you previously, right? And this could be, I'm not saying this was like yesterday or last month even, but I feel like at some point in your journey, somewhere along the way, whether it was 5 years ago, 5 days ago, 5 weeks ago, whatever the story, I feel like you have been learning to find confidence in yourself, find courage to overcome your fears, to overcome things that maybe were nightmarish to you, anxieties, traumas. Like, it really does feel like you have gained so much strength and so much confidence and so much courage. And I feel like this is only through overcoming these things that once were were fears, were, you know, caused you a lot of anxiety or made you feel hopeless or powerless even. Let's see what else we have here. We do have the Two of Wands in the reverse as well, to clarify. So, you know, I feel like some of you have conquered your fear of change, your fear of decisions, of making a bad decision even, right? And maybe that's because some of you have made decisions that you were afraid of, like that initially you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Right? It feels like you know, yeah, you've, again, right? Because the Two of Wands in the reverse can be like playing it safe and being afraid of changes and these sorts of things. Kind of being afraid of being uncomfortable. And I feel like you've conquered that. Like, there's so much, it feels like so much power coming through, Taurus, for you. It feels like so much strength, and like the strength that comes from like deep within the wells of your being. And it's exciting. It feels very exciting for you, Taurus. It feels like I want to freaking, you know, like I want to pat you on the back. I want to, like, yes, because I feel like some of these things before like would have halted your everything for you. And I feel like little by little you are just knocking them out of the park. Like, no, I'm conquering this, I'm conquering this, I'm conquering this. I'm finding my confidence here, I'm finding my strength here, I'm overcoming this. It feels very much like, oh yes, thank you, like Pride Rock, like up here. I love this for you, Taurus. It's beautiful. So where are you gaining clarity? Yeah, through your transformation, right? Like, I feel like it's interesting to me because I feel like when I created this spread and that particular part of the reading, it very much came through as like gaining clarity in certain aspects of your life or with certain situations. But for you, Taurus, this is very much coming through and like gaining clarity through the transformation, right? So through the process of becoming, I feel like that is where you're gaining clarity, and you're gaining clarity about yourself through that becoming. Does that make sense? I also feel like for some of you, you have gained clarity through a higher perspective or through taking flight, as it were. And that could be something as simple as leaving the nest or leaving home, or leaving your comfort zone. That could have also provided you with clarity. What do we have here? The Daughter or Page of Swords. To clarify, or to start to clarify rather, which I mean it's that really, it feels very much like this energy of, how would we say, yeah, like it's I feel like it's, how do we explain this? Through your curiosities, um, through your own truth, I feel like you found clarity. Again, through the transformation, right? Like that's really what it feels like to me. It really does feel like gaining that clarity through being curious, through, how would you say, you may have even been restless in situations in the past, and it could have been like that restlessness that inspired transformation or change of some kind, and that led to clarity as well. Of course, as always, take it as it resonates with you and leave what doesn't. But that's really what it feels like to me. It feels like gaining clarity through that awareness, through that perception of self, as you've been transforming, as you've been changing, as you've been learning about yourself, and maybe even grown very curious about yourself and your inner workings and the world around you and how you fit into it. Oh, beautiful. This is beautiful, Taurus. We also have the Empress here, right? So I feel like you've been gaining clarity on, how would you say, your role, okay, in break. Let me think of how to properly word this, because the Empress is that energy of, it is a very motherly type of energy. It is the card of like birthing things into the physical world. And I feel like for some of you, there has been clarity gained in the understanding that you, whether you're male or female, does not matter, okay? That you are responsible for an aspect of what you create, or the reality that you create. Okay? So it feels like this, how would you say, gaining clarity in the understanding that I am responsible for what I bring into my experience. I am responsible for what I create, what I nurture. Okay? So I feel like this is yeah. There's this aspect of taking accountability for your own growth, right? For your own transformation, and nurturing the things that perpetuate that. Okay, so where are you gaining clarity? Well, in the fact that you are responsible for your own growth, that you are responsible for what you bring into the world, that you are responsible for balance and harmony and what you nurture, that you are responsible for what, how would you say, the stability that you bring into your life, right? As well, because that is, I mean, that is very much Empress energy, or Taurus energy even, which is connected with the Empress. Okay, so I mean, I also feel like there's clarity here in you showing up for yourself. For you showing up for yourself, right? And the reason why, for me, like this connection comes with the Empress and you, Taurus, is that Venusian connection, because Venus being your ruler, right? That is about balance. It is about harmony. It is about values. And I feel like this is part of that. I feel like there's bringing that balance into your experience as well, and showing up for yourself and creating harmony in your own world, nurturing harmony, nurturing balance, nurturing the things that are important to you. And I feel like through those things you've gained clarity, and I do feel like it's allowed you as well to find confidence and conviction in who you are, strength in who you are. I think this is absolutely phenomenal. So let's take a look here at what you have the opportunity to change. There are several cards here. So we do have the whale. Okay. So I do feel like here there's an element of sharing your song, diving deeper into your being. And I feel like it's, how would you say? It feels like how changing the depth at which you share yourself with other people. Does that make sense? I feel like you have the opportunity to change that, because I do feel like for some of you, it's interesting to me, because it feels like some of you, how would you say, and you will know if this was you, but I feel like some of you share things with other people, but it's, you could share more deeply. It feels like even people maybe that you feel connected to in some way, shape, or form, or like, or enjoy, or maybe even have wanted a relationship with, whether that be friendship or otherwise, I feel like you've only shared to a certain level. And I feel like there's kind of like a point where you're like, that's as far as you can go. Now, that's not to say that you haven't opened up and dove much deeper with maybe particular or certain individuals, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like there's so much more to you that meets the eye, and I feel like you have the opportunity to really show people who you are on a very deep level. And I feel like you could potentially be getting there, right? Because you are finding this courage, and finding courage through transformation and through curiosity and through nurturing the things that mean something, that create your experience, right? So it does feel like you may be even already open to this. You may have already been exploring this a little bit. Maybe you're just kind of letting people go just a little bit deeper than what you would have in the past. But I definitely feel like there's the opportunity to go even deeper. We also, yeah, you cannot make this shit up. I cannot believe this is out here right now. My mind is so blown, because we do have the Nightingale, and it is literally like sharing your song, sharing your truth, expressing yourself very, very, like, I mean, again, sharing your song, right? So, I mean, really about it, it's about being like full on authentic, full on yourself, right? Like not hiding from it at all. Sharing your song, sharing your truth, expressing yourself. And this could also be on an art level as well for some of you, I feel. Okay? And maybe you're a songwriter, a singer, or enjoy some form of artwork. Doesn't necessarily have to be song. It could be poetry, it could be actual painting or sculpting, or drawing, or anything, really, anything creative, really, where you're creating anything. But for whatever reason, I feel like there's somebody who may be a songwriter or a singer or something, and this could be giving you the opportunity to step more into that space. We also have the horse here. I feel like, okay, so here's the thing that's very interesting about this card. Intuitively, on the forehead of the horse, or the middle of the head there, in the position of what we would call maybe the third eye position on a person, there is that moon. The moon is about, or can be about, like what's hidden or secrets, or um walking that line between light and dark. It can be I don't know, it can also be about illusions. But what I really feel here with the moon, I feel like it's bringing the depths of who you are to the surface, right? And I'm not saying that you should just run all willy-nilly letting everybody experience every facet of you, because that would be foolish. But I do feel like there's something here about connecting more deeply to others and allowing them to truly experience you on a different level. Um, it just, I don't know why, it feels like bringing things that are hidden more to the surface. And maybe that's even so much as so for yourself. I'm also getting here, for whatever reason, and maybe this is somebody very specific, but I'm also getting this energy here of like you can't run from what you try to hide, because it's like right there. Does that make sense? I do want to just pop open the book real quick and see about what the key words are here for the horse, just to share those with you, give another layer. Let's see if we can find it. Give me 1 second. These are not in like any specific order, and it doesn't matter how many times I get into this book, I can never seem to find what okay. So it does say momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force, right? So again, I feel like you have the opportunity to really truly grow, and that's what I feel like is what's changing. Just, yeah. But again, I feel like you can't run from what's hidden, no matter how hard you try, or no matter how much you try to hide it. You also have here the cosmic egg. Now, this is a spiritual element card, which means I will be reading from the book the meaning of this card. However, I do want to say that I feel like there's something here about truly embracing yourself. Okay, like fully accepting yourself. And I feel like this is what you have the opportunity to change. But I do feel like you're already heading in that direction, right? I feel like if you open up to diving deeper, sharing your song, and not trying to hide your truths, not trying to hide anything, I do feel like you could just embody yourself that much more fully. So let's dive into the book here. The cosmic egg is about completion, harmony, and the infinite within the finite. The cosmic egg is the final card in the journey of the animal spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace, we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. The subtle essence of the cosmic egg resides at the crown chakra at the top of the head. One of the aims of yoga and meditation practice is to channel energy from the base of the spine upward towards the crown chakra. Each of the lower chakras play an important role along this journey, and once the final epicenter of consciousness is activated, it is said to radiate the light of a million suns. Right? So I do feel like this is kind of like you have the opportunity to really just stand fully in your glory, Taurus. And interestingly, I feel like there's that element of like birthing something new, which goes right along with that Empress energy and the butterfly as well. Okay. Let's just move this over here. The tarot, we do have here the Seven of Cups, which I mean means honestly, what you have the opportunity to change is like you have options, right? I really do feel like you have this opportunity to change, but you have the option to decide what it is you change, what it is what stays the same, what you let go of, right? Or excuse me, this is the Nine of Cups, you guys. I can't count. Seven of Cups. But okay, so here's the thing. I seriously did not process that. So I feel like there's still that energy there of that option. Like I think this is something that is also being expressed with the Empress, right? And you're gaining clarity on is like the choice is yours, right? You have a part in what you are creating. And so, with that set, because that's kind of how I work when I'm doing these readings, like I'm just bringing energy through, and sometimes I don't even know exactly what I'm saying. And I feel like there's a reason why that energy came through. There's a reason, and I feel like also I can't count, but but I do feel like nothing comes from nothing. So I do feel like there are options here available to you, and choosing what you decide to change and what you decide to delve deeper into, or what you decide to choose is up to you. What you want to change. Okay. But the Nine of Cups, let's try this again, is about that emotional stability. So I feel like in delving deeper into yourself and in expressing your truths and not trying to hide who you truly are, and really embracing the full spectrum of your being, I feel like brings forward for you emotional stability, and that is what you have the opportunity to change. Again, notice how many times you have this crescent moon showing up here. Okay. That may be something you want to look into more deeply, like the meaning, the spiritual meaning of that crescent moon. It may hold some keys for you as well, right? But regardless, like the moon showing up is about those, those hidden things, or that fine line between, how would you say, like good and bad, or light and dark, right? Like walking that narrow path. And more so, I feel like it's like light and dark here, like walking that fine line between what you share and what you don't. That's kind of how it's coming through for me, or what I feel coming through. I also feel like there's a lot here about following your intuition, because the moon is very much connected with your intuition. And I feel like your intuition is speaking to you, Taurus. I feel like it's very likely that if this is your reading, you're like, gosh, I know, right? Like I feel like you already know these things, truly. Okay, so let's see what else we have here for you. I'm just going to slide these in. Maybe there's not as much room, so we'll go ahead and just pop these up here. All right, we also have here for you Justice. This is in the reverse, right? Which is very interesting to me, because we do have these two dogs here, or cats, I'm sorry. We do have these two cats here. One's light, one's dark. And I just find it very interesting that in your tarot, normally there are two dogs. So I just think it's very fascinating that they're here. It's just kind of an interesting little connection, if you will. One being light and one being dark, like we were just speaking on. Also very synchronistic or coincidental, if you will. But with the Justice in reverse, I mean, there is this energy. I mean, how would we say? When do you have the opportunity to change with the justice? It feels kind of like that. Yeah. I'm just going to be honest, like this may not be very comfortable to hear or very pleasant to hear, but it's like living in denial, right? Which is, again, it's not so much about you living a lie, so to speak, or anything like that, but it can be, and it can be very much about not living fully in your truth, right? So it's not always like you're living a full-on complete lie, but it can be that energy of like you're not stepping fully into your truth. You're not stepping fully into your authenticity, right? Like denying or hiding parts of yourself can be that, right? And it can be like being dishonest with yourself and being unwilling to take accountability for yourself. Okay? And I feel like the thing of it is like that's unfair to you. You kind of sell yourself short. And I do feel like this is what you have the ability to change. Again, fully embracing who you are and fully expressing who you are, singing your song, diving deep into your being, right? And accepting and acknowledging and taking responsibility for everything that you are. Wow. We also have the Hierophant here. So lots of arcana showing, or excuse me, major arcana showing up for you, Taurus, which, I mean, this is significant change, right? This is a big transitionary period. Fascinating that the Hierophant would show up because it is you in the tarot. Like this is a representation of you in the tarot. So, again, it's like showing up for yourself, not living in denial, not being dishonest. Like you have the opportunity here to really show up for yourself. You hold the key to you, right? And I feel like this is what you have the opportunity to change, to show up for you, right? And it's interesting because I feel like there's also this energy of like appreciating who you are. Um, it's fascinating because typically the Hierophant is looked at as like this, um, you know, how would you say, not breaking free from the norms, like not deviating, thank you, Lord, from the norms, right? There's that energy of sticking to what is known and not rocking the boat, right? And I feel like this is what you have the opportunity to change as well, right? Again, showing up for yourself, breaking free from what you've always known or what you've always experienced. And I do feel like you're already on that path. And I just feel like you can take it one step deeper. I hope that makes sense because, again, you hold the key to unlocking you and your entirety, you like fully. That's how I'm seeing this. As always, take it as it resonates with you. But this, like, literally, the number 5 represented here on the Hierophant is change. Okay? It is change. So, I really do feel like you have the opportunity to create change. So, what might you be celebrating now or in the future? Okay, so this is an interesting kind of celebratory energy. The octopus is really very much about boundaries. It's very much about um how would you say, I'm actually probably going to open the book for this one because I feel like there's a layer here that would be beneficial for you. But I feel like there's a celebration of like I don't, how would you say, like I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to approve of me. So I feel like it's deepening that inner courage, that conviction of self, that, how would you say, that confidence, thank you. Yeah, that confidence in self, right? Because it's like I don't need you to like me. Again, the octopus is very much about like boundaries and creating that. So it feels like what you could be celebrating is being so confident in yourself and being so, actually, interestingly, I'm getting the word established in yourself, or maybe those foundations of self are so firm that you're just like, I really don't care about how you feel about me, right? Like I can just be me and I don't have to worry about anything else. But let me take a peek here and read this for you, because again, I feel like it's just going to provide for you another layer, and really consider this from the space of what are you celebrating now, or what might you be celebrating in the future. Okay, yeah, so here it is, right? Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. When in balance, interested, engaged, intelligent. When out of balance, needy, clingy, and lacks courage. To bring into balance, space to one's self, talk, therapy, right? So again, what might you be celebrating now or in the future? I do feel like it is that courage, that establishment of courage. Like, I don't need to tell you my whole life story for you to be close with me, but I also feel like there's that fine line between, like, within the boundaries, right? So it's not about being so surface level because you're afraid, but it's also not about telling everybody everything all willy-nilly because you're afraid. Right? For clarity, we do have the Mother or Queen of Cups in the reverse, and this is an energy in the reverse of like martyrdom and insecurity and dependence. So it really feels to me like there could be this in the future, this development of not needing to, how would you say, like be dependent upon other people, right? Again, establishing those boundaries, because you don't need to depend on other people for approval. You don't need to share everything because you're insecure about whether or not they're going to stick around, right? Again, it's a very fine line, and I've been picking that up a lot through your reading, like this fine line between the light and the dark, or between what you share and what you don't. And I feel like discovering that is going to be an important thing for you moving forward, Taurus, because I feel like it is about having boundaries and not needing to overshare, but it's also about not being afraid to share, right? Really creating that emotional stability, really creating that comfort within self, right? Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. I also feel like there's something here potentially about being able to, the more you open up and the more you find confidence in yourself, I feel like there's something here about celebrating how you can intuitively discern who is someone you would like to share with and dive deeper with, and share your song with, be expressive to, you know, fully embrace, and who is maybe somebody that you need to keep at arm's length, like the octopus. Okay, very interesting energies for you. Let's take a look at your advice, encouragement, or guidance for this month. You do have TikTok here, so I feel like for you, Taurus, there's this energy of, how would you say, first of all, I feel like there's an element of like you're not running out of time, so don't be afraid of that. But I'm going to read for you the oracle message with this card. Just give me a moment to grab the book here. I feel like before I do that, I want to say to you, like, how would you say, time is in the palm of your hands. Time is in your hands. You decide when you're ready to do what, right? You decide when you feel comfortable expressing yourself, when you feel comfortable sharing, if that makes sense, right? Because and you have 3 showing up here with the Empress as well. So you have these 3 showing up, and I just feel like there's something here about you deciding, right? Like who you give your time to, where, when, how much. Also deciding how much energy and work you want to put into your growth. And there's that energy there again of you have the choice, like the choice is in your hands. Time is in your hands. You decide how things unfold. But I'm going to read the oracle message here for you. Okay. So it says here, and just consider this again from a space of advice, encouragement, or guidance for you moving forward. So it says, when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire. So release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. Okay? So, I feel like for some of you, maybe there's that feeling of, what if I'm running out of time? And this is coming through to say, divine timing is never late. Divine timing never misses you. Okay? And those things are at play, but there's also that co-creative energy, which we spoke on previously, right? So keep that in mind as you move forward. I really hope that something here resonates for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, your company, and your attention with me. It has been an absolute pleasure to read for you. If something here has resonated for you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, subscribing, or commenting below. It does help the channel to grow. It tells YouTube that there may be something valuable here for someone else. And I truly, truly do appreciate that very much. So thank you. I pray you have a beautiful month full of discovering who you are, diving deep, sharing your song, wrapping yourself in confidence, in courage, in the knowing that you are beautiful, you are unique. The world needs you to be the truest and most purest, version of yourself, because you have so much beauty to share. Take care of your beautiful, unique, amazing, and growing soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.